That's what you really try to do. You try to get a little space between you and the guy behind you so he doesn't run over you.
You know, a car that started up near the front, the 26 car, Jamie McMurray. Now remember, this is the old 97 group.
Biffle almost hit the wall in two, excuse me, Larry, but he went way up the hill. He may have a tire.
He's in trouble. He's
got a tire down. He's coming to pit road.
Come on around. You ain't got to come down this pit road. Just keep coming to turn 2.
He's got a right rear. Well, I don't know. Looks like a right front.
Right front, guys.
Right front.
Now he's pitting at the very end of the backstretch pits. Remember, under green, we've been talking about it. You only have to use the one pit road. He'll enter turn 2, exit at turn 3.
See if we can see what happens. See if any sparks, dust, or anything flies out of her. Bam! Yeah, don't see any sparks, but he just
definitely went up and kissed that wall with the right rear, though.
And where he hit the wall, he could not get down to pit road to enter in turn 2, so he had to make that extra lap.
Now this is a little bit tougher tire than they ran here last year. A little bit harder compound. They were expecting no tire problems. The same tire that ran at Las Vegas, but Dick, he's got a right front down. Looks like.
Yeah, he sure did. Right front damage as well, Darrell. That's terribly serious damage. But having to pit out of the lead like that with a flat tire, that's a serious problem.
And that created an opportunity for Tony Stewart, and he has gone to the lead as now Kurt Busch has slowed.
And he's coming to pit road.
Nice and easy. 3,600.
Now he's pitting on the front stretch, so he enters at turn 4 under green.
Penalty for Greg Biffle. He was too fast entering pit road, and the electronic speeding police wrote him a ticket.
NASCAR NXTO Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of NASCAR.
We're under caution for the third time at lap 109. Stanton Barrett, in the hair of the dog Chevrolet, got a boot from Clint Boyer and ended up in the turn 4 wall. There you see it.
Stanton kind of went up high going into 3, and I think Boyer thought he was giving him the bottom, and all of a sudden Stanton cut down just a tad, and Boyer had nowhere to go, but got into him, turned him. See it back there.
Kurt Busch will get the free pass. We'll get his lap back. He'll be back on the lead lap. And updating you from the last caution, in which Denny Hamlin, who we're riding with now, and the number 4 of Scott Wimmer were gigged for being too fast on pit road, had to do a drive-through penalty.
Also, Greg Biffle in the 16 car will get 1 of his 3 laps back, so he's still got 2 to go. But once again, as we've been talking, he'll probably be able to go up there and start at the front of the pack again and be able to drive off. We're seeing most of our lead lap cars stay out because they were only on pit road about 30 laps ago. We're seeing some of the guys that were about mid-pack, mainly Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch in the 5, Joe Nemechek, Casey Mears. A lot of the cars mid-pack on back that are hitting pit road.
Yeah, come in now, makes, you know, if you're not real good right now, it's a good time to work on it because this thing's got a green flag look to it here later on.
And Darrell, Jeff and I didn't get a chance to talk about it in the beginning of the show, but this is one of those racetracks, if your car's a little bit off, you almost want to get off sequence with the leaders and see if you can make up some ground that way. We saw that in the Busch race yesterday.
The biggest risk is that you get back in there in traffic and you get run over from behind.
There's no free lunches here, that's for sure.
Go hard, go hard. Straight through.
Tony Stewart's now led 51 laps. Greg Biffle led 52 earlier. We're under the 3rd caution of the day at Bristol. We're listening on Matt Kenseth, Robbie Reiser, and crew.
I think I'm going to be able to talk to you is under caution, though, because I got this other microphone. I tried the other one, but it don't work, so we'll just have to use this and get through the day. We'll just use this here and do the best we can. I don't need to talk under green anyway.
Well, I just talked to Robbie Reiser, crew chief for Matt Kenseth, and Robbie said that they can hear the spotter, that his driver and spotter are in good communication. It's only the crew chief that they can't hear. So they're working to try to get that resolved, to get a headset for the crew chief so Matt Kenseth can hear him. We have no problem at all hearing Matt. I mean, he's barking all kinds of instructions about the behavior of the car, when he wants to come in and so forth, but he needs to hear his crew chief.
Thanks, Dick. Green flag to begin lap 116. Tony Stewart takes off.
Boy, Jimmy Johnson's car is definitely better there. He's able to stay there this time, unlike the past on restarts. Matter of fact, he's on. He was looking there on the end, looking under Tony.
Now, just to clear it up, Robbie Gordon in the 7 car was actually not held a lap because of missing the commitment cone. He was held a lap simply to try to calm him down. We've talked about emotions and feelings here.
Dale Jr. just about got turned by Reed Sorensen, but around goes Scott Riggs in the wall. Sorensen wisely got off the gas.
Rear quarter panel.
And allowed Jr. to get straightened up. But
Jimmy, you got to tell him when there's people wrecking in front of him.
But what happens here? One person's problem affects somebody 20 cars back. In this case, Scott Riggs.
Chain reaction. Junior got in trouble up here in the middle of 3 and 4, and it all started from there. It started there, ended down here with Scott Riggs in the wall. See Junior on the outside. He runs in the back of Kyle Busch. They got the 41 up the hill. Now here he comes trying to force his way through.
That was the start of it. Joe Nemechek also involved there in these accordion-like collisions. And then further back, drivers have to react to this, and here's what happens.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show. You're running around here 15.5 seconds. You come off of turn 4, it's only 4.5 seconds till you get down to turn 1.
Look like Jeff Burton gets into the back of Scott Riggs right here and just spins it around.
Come on. Come on. Cautious out. Cautious out.
That'll be good news for Michael Waltrip throwing the 55 car. He'll be back on the lead lap with a free pass. And a little damage on that Army car. Joe Nemechek, part of the chain reaction again.
He got in the back of Sorensen, who got in the back of Dale Earnhardt Jr. And how does that go? So on and so on and so on.
Just keeps on keeping on.
It's chain, chain, chain.
Lap car up ahead, Stanton Barrett. Harvick should be able to use him as a pick.
But look what they're doing, Mike. Look at all the cars bottled up behind them right now. Everybody's sitting here. All the spotters are saying, watch those 2 guys up there, and they're anticipating problems.
Yeah, because while they're running side by side as they catch the lap car Stanton Barrett, the cars just continue to stack up behind them.
Outside. Outside.
Now Newman in the 12 is going to get trapped behind the 95 car Stanton Barrett, so he's going to lose 2 more positions.
And he can't squeeze in next to Carl Edwards.
Kyle, we got them wrecking everywhere, guys.
Turn 4. Oh, and Michael Waltrip drives in long after it's over. Hard to see in these steep banks.
Well, you just, when you're up there, you get that trash on your tires. You can't stop.
David Stremme, Brian Vickers, Michael Waltrip all got the worst of it. And Clint Boyer. This happened at turn 4.
A couple of our rookies involved there.
.40 car down here, he's spinning around, spinning everywhere after the accident.
Vickers will take it behind the wall. Stremme to pit road. Now let's first show you what happened as Kevin Harvick was trying to work through traffic, and he and Ryan Newman got together. Now there's Harvick on the bottom, coming up on Barrett. Got a little boot from Newman there.
I don't think Harvick was very happy with that, and I think he showed it right there off in turn 1 and 2.
Outside, outside. You're clear. Settle down, settle down.
And then in turn 4. Dave Blaney around. And everything stacks up.
You see Michael Waltrip in the 55 car come in here. Just, I think you're right. You could see the front tires sliding on the car.
You get up high, you get shoved up in all that debris, and it gets on your tires and won't stop.
So there's that chain reaction, Darrell.
Now Michael's left front ends up flat, Darrell. It may have been flat when he got here. It may have already been flat.
See him up high. You see him up there, and the higher you get it, the more debris there is, and all of a sudden you get to that hole that's not there anymore.
And I'm sure you got to believe the spotter was telling him that track's blocked, basically.
Well, conventional wisdom would tell you that they're going to go down the track. With all the banking, you'd think they'd go down the track, but they were all wadded up there and they couldn't.
You know, by the way, Greg Biffle in the 16 back on the lead lap.
And that longest line is getting shorter.
Yes, it is.
Right.
And we got a report that Michael Waltrip, all the smoke while ago, he had an oil cooler problem, an oil cooler leaking, and right now he's out there 10 laps down.
David Stremmy's car has been taken behind the wall for repair. And you see why 160,000 people come here twice a year and fill this place.
But I'm going to tell you what, you're right about Kurt Busch. Right at 200 laps ago in that 2 car, he had the tire problem almost the same time that Greg Biffle did. Went the lap down, got the lap back. Here he is just past halfway up there, battling in the 3rd position.
And I've just watched him today, and he's been so patient. The only contact he's had was with Ryan Newman when they were going into 3 over there, his teammate.
Jeff Gordon up for 4th, just ahead of him. This duo, Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch, and Gordon appears to be catching them.
But this is like a lot of other things. The longer we go, the thinner your patience get too. You start off with a whole bucket full of patience, but by the end of the day, there's only a few
front
drops.
straightaway.
Holy cow.
Ryan Newman, Reed Sorensen, Casey Mears.
Looks like the real loser on this deal is going to be Jamie McMurray in that 26 car.
Boy, I'll say, look at that thing.
Common denominator, Brent Sherman.
It's going to back by the crash.
I would say they have probably busted the radiator there. That looks like steam water coming out of there. You can almost see it coming out of that area right there.
Yep.
David Stremmy's in it, and so is Stanton Barrett. One car got turned sideways, and suddenly the track is no longer wide enough for anybody to get by.
Mr. Newman's car got quite a bit of damage. I don't think it's anything serious.
Between 4 tires and fuel ring.
Whoa. 41 car looks like he may have got into the back of the 12.
Then when he checked up, that's when McMurray in the 26 really got in the back of 41 hard. Reed Sorensen picked the rear wheels off the ground.
Sherman turned Mears. 4 cars spin to the inside of the racetrack.
Hair of the Dog, 95 car. He's been in a couple of these.
Bracket right in front of you, off the turn 4, right on the front. Track is blocked. Get it slowed down. Clear on the bottom. Clear on the bottom. Watch this 49 behind you.
Your brother is not going to have any
Clear.
brakes left when the day's over. He's had to stop several times to avoid a wreck.
McMurray behind the wall. Lap 262, caution flag number 11 in the Food City 500.
The Bristol 500 delivered by UPS. UPS delivers the chance to manage your own free fantasy auto racing team. You can win 2 tickets to any Fox broadcast race. Go to foxsports.com, keyword UPS. Kevin Harvick moments ago. You're going to look at Kurt Busch in the 2 car. Tony Stewart leading moments ago. He's led the most laps.
He may have led the most laps, but right now the 29 car of Kevin Harvick is out front. Take a look at what he just did. He just came up and caught Kurt Busch. Makes a good move to the inside on the 2 car. It's almost like Kurt moved up and gave him a little bit of room to the inside. Harvick makes a clean pass off the turn 2 right there. Now we got trouble off the corner. I got another caution out. See, the leader's just getting by. It looks like the 49 car, Brett Sherman, around. Guys?
13th caution of the day, and it comes out at lap 338. Brent Sherman, and I did not see contact from another car that time.
Yeah, I think there was.
But I tell you what, it comes out just in the nick of time for Kenny Schrader in that 21 car because Kevin Harvick was breathing down his neck. So now Schrader will only be 1 lap down.
And that's why little Debbie's smiling. She said, good job, Kenny.
He's been trying to get that lap back for about 200 laps.
Come down a pound from where we were. Come down just a pound from where we were.
Now let's first show you the lead change that took place that put Kevin Harvick out front for the first time today.
Tony just eases over. I tell you, Greg Zipadelli has done a good job of getting in Tony Stewart's head, because Tony is doing everything right.
And here's what happens to put us under caution. Oh,
I told you, I thought there was a contact.
I should say.
Chain reaction behind him. Joe Nemechek in the 01 Army car getting turned around. And you know, you could blame that on Tony Stewart, but the problem is Brent Sherman probably about a second and a half a lap slower than Tony Stewart right there in the 20.
38 laps down.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that doesn't give you an excuse to wreck him.
No.
But it just shows you how far off he is.
Exactly.
20.
I think pit road will be a very busy place. We were seeing a lot of cars starting to go backwards right there.
Most of the leaders are in. Here's Matt Kenseth's crew at work. Dick?
Nope.
Hard to believe Schrader still isn't in position to get the free pass once today. But he's working his way along, one lap down. You're riding with Harvick, who led when we went to caution. Stewart beat him out off pit road.
I'll tell you, the old rookie he's pretty well dialed in right now.
Oh, backstretch. Mayfield and Mears go around.
And around. And around. And Scott Riggs goes around.
And we just talked about it. That mess of an 07 car, he'll be back on the lead lap now. He gets the free pass, Clint Boyer.
Well, this was synchronized spinning. Somebody turned Jeremy Mayfield, and then another car was spun just behind him. Travis Quaffle appeared to get the worst of it in the tied number 32.
Travis was still on lead lap, too. Hadn't been doing too bad a job.
Yeah, Casey Mears was the other car that spun, and,
ooh,
well, that's not pretty.
Bumper brace.
Yeah.
Big bumper brace out of the back of a car. Those two little rods sticking out there welded to the back frame rail. So somebody lost their bumper brace.
And I tell you, Mike, one of the stories we've been following all day long is being in the top 35 in owner points leaving here. This crash for this 32 car, that's not going to be good for them.
Now look way off to the right of your screen where the lights are on. And that's how this all gets started. Mayfield gets turned first by Jeff Green, and that puts Marlin into Mears.
I think Mayfield, yeah. Mayfield may have gotten loose off of 2.
He did, Darrell. Jeff Green didn't hit him, but Green's momentum carried him into Mayfield.
Right, that's kind of what it looked like.
Yes.
The good news for Mayfield, all he's going to need is 4 fresh tires here in the 19 car. And there he's getting them.
Oh, I didn't get the wreck over there, so I'll wreck right here. And look who he hit.
The free pass car, Clint Boyer, who was just coming around to come in his pit.
Boy. Coming around here to get to Green.
He is in 4th place on the outside. Green flag. Now the lead lap cars on the outside have to mix in and amongst the cars 1 lap down. There's the one of Truex alongside Harvick,
who is 1 lap down.
Jeff just gets into him and turns him.
But the real losers are Yaley, Burton, Casey Kane, and Robbie Gordon.
Yeah, that happened up there with the 4th place car, and it was cars that were back there about 12th to 15th that was involved in this.
You get real impatient when it gets down to the end of the race, and you got to go, and that's not typical Jeff Gordon. I'm not sure if something happened to the one car to cause him to get into him or not, but that was not a very nice thing to do.
The free pass car would have been the number 4. No, would have been the number 1. He was the first car 1 lap down, Martin Truex, but he was involved in the crash, so no free pass. Things stack up here in a hurry.
Get low, stay low, stay low. slow. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Ooh, hard hit. Hard hit.
Little bad blood here.
A lot of bad blood.
Martin Truex not giving Jeff Gordon a lot of room this time.
But right now, Tony Stewart in the 20s boxed in behind this battle right now.
And around goes Truex hard.
Now he pays the price.
Yeah. That happens to rookies a lot. You don't come back out late in the race and do what he was doing. I mean, that's just not. I understand his feelings. I know exactly why he was doing what he was doing, but you just don't do that.
I understand his feelings, but as I keep saying, he should have left them outside this racetrack this morning. He'd been better off.
Truex.
Scott, we're going to get it fixed.
Truex.
Mike, you better listen to me. You better listen right now. All right? You check. You're the nicest guy out there today. You were. I commend you for that. That spun you out earlier. All right? Listen here now. We're going to fix the thing. Same thing happened in spring race last year. We went and won the championship. Don't ever give up on this team. I ain't going to give up on you. We missed the setup today. It was a piece of shit. Do not give up. Now look what you've done. Now we're going to finish even worse.
All right, we apologize for the language on the part of Martin Truex's crew chief, but the frustration is evident this late in the race when things happen. Here's the replay of this most recent incident between Truex and Jeff Gordon. And Tony Stewart.
And what was going on between Truex and Jeff Gordon about 2 cautions ago, or a caution ago, Martin Truex Jr. in the 1 car, 1 lap after a restart, Jeff Gordon got into the back of him and spun him out. That's the reason Martin Truex Jr. was out there, I think, doing this with Gordon.
So Truex is doing this with Gordon. It's holding up Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte. And Truex is out of the race.
You know, it's one of the things that I think Tony said a couple of times is he has a real problem with some of these younger drivers, your rookie drivers particularly, coming in and not really respecting the guys that have been here a while.
Well, here's the first incident. And at this point, Truex is a lap down. Gordon is a lead lap car.
And I'll be the first to admit that was uncalled for. And I can understand Martin being upset, but you don't take it out. You don't go back out on the racetrack and use your race car to get even with somebody.
I'll be the first to admit that was uncalled for. Not to what Tony Stewart did, but the situation with the one in the 24 there.
Because Truex had been roughing Gordon up as soon as Jeff got alongside him for 2 laps. And then Stewart took control of the situation and said, I'm not going to be a part of your guys' wreck. Off he went.
No, because while you're playing games, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, they're getting smaller and smaller up there. That was a hard hit.
It was.
I'm not sure they'll get that one fixed in 61 laps.
By all of the camera angles, you can probably tell this was not unexpected. Matt Kenseth is our leader with 60 laps to go. Working caution flag 17.